Lovely evening. We're back again here with the live show on Scorecard on Citi TV. My name is Fentio Tahir Fentio. There's not a lot of highlights, a lot of sports going on. And so we've kind of tweaked the show a little bit. So tonight we have quite a few transfers to discuss. What's happening with Cristiano Ronaldo? He dropped a bombshell. Well, he didn't do it himself. But reporters dropped a bombshell yesterday that he had asked to leave Man United. What's going on there? What about the rest of the team's transfer activity? Chelsea, they've been left in the cold in their chase for Rafinha and Dembele now. What's going on with the club? Todd Boehly, according to reports, is the man that's now doing all of the negotiations. Is he capable? Liverpool have announced a signing today, Fabio Carvalho. Are they replacing Sadio Mane already? Salah has extended his contract. Now they're highest paid player. There's quite a lot of issues to discuss here on the show. And we are here for the next 1 hour. Also to talk about a few Ghanaian transfers. Kofi Kyereh has joined Freiburg. Alexander Djiku is on his way to joining him in Germany. Would that be a good deal for him or would it not? The women's AFCON kicked off this weekend in Morocco. The Moroccans started with the win. Senegal getting a victory in their opening game as well. There's been F1. The British Grand Prix dominated the headlines today. It was a mazy affair. Let me put it that way. It's the only word I can use to describe what has been a thrilling afternoon of racing there. But it's the first victory for Carlos Sainz after disastrous strategy for his teammate Charles Leclerc. We can look at that. And Wimbledon also happening. Daniel Kofi has got all of the lowdown, really, on everything that's happening there. So it's a packed show. Do stay with us here. We'll put perspective on all of the transfer stories that's been going around. And I'm really interested in your thoughts on who you think your team should be chasing or what you think the options are for them in the transfer market. We will take a very short break now. When we come back, I'll introduce my guest and then we can start rolling. All right, welcome back. This is Scorecard. Get in touch with us. The way to do it is through our Twitter hashtag. Use the hashtag Scorecard on Twitter. I will see all of those messages. I'll retweet as many of them as possible. Also on WhatsApp, you can send me a message using the number on the screen. I've missed all of your faces. These two gentlemen, and they're back here on the show. Coach Christopher Nimley and Daniel Kofi. How are you guys doing?
Very good.
You see, you've changed the pattern of the show.
Okay, Coach Christopher Nimley is here. Chemistry teacher by day. Coach by evening. Hold on. Coach and tactical analyst by evening. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now introduce you to the indefatigable, the incredible, the funniest Coach Christopher Nimley. Coach, lovely evening. Welcome to the show.
You needed to behave. I'm good. Trying to misbehave on the show. What was that?
How are you feeling?
Charlie, I'm fine, but look, I miss everything.
You miss the live show, yeah.
I miss the live show, and we had to do this because of them.
You know,
so we are in state.
Exactly. Daniel, you've got, every time you show up in a party jersey,
then there's a
problem. There's always a problem.
There's a problem. Then there's a problem.
There's always a problem. Because they call it, it's reverse psychology.
I'm telling you.
He wears it to cause sympathy.
Of course. Then he wears it to come and do damage. Or today you're going to do damage control.
Today there's no problem. He will go and do so. He will go and say something. And when the Arsenal fans deal with him, he will go and wear the jersey and come and say that.
Pacify them.
Yeah, to pacify them. You think you are smart. We have seen through all of your antics. But guys, it's been a few weeks. I think for 2 weeks we haven't done the show. Yeah. Football season is over, obviously. But there's still quite a lot happening, like we said. You know, the transfer activities really kicked up a big gear. But even before we get into that, I just want to get this out the way first. The women's AFCON is started. It's ongoing in Cameroon. In Morocco. They are hosting the competition. While that was happening, CAF held an executive committee meeting today. And from that executive committee meeting, the Confederation of African Football has decided that AFCON 2023, which was scheduled to come off in June and July 2023 in Côte d'Ivoire, has now been pushed forward 6 months. So it's been postponed, or it's been pushed to January and February 2024. So for the third AFCON tournament in a row, there's been a change in either the host nation or the timing of the competition. So next year, the whole of 2023, there will not be an AFCON competition. All right? There will not be an AFCON competition. The main reason being the Ivorian Meteorological Services have stated that in June and July, there will be so much rain in Cote d'Ivoire, several of the match venues would actually be submerged in water. So we can't play the tournament in June. Coach, quick thoughts on that? Why are you laughing? Because we always know. Because look at what is happening in Accra. We know. June and July, you can't play football.
No, but are we saying that we can, as Africans, we can build stadia
that can
resist these things? Is it? Look, the world is completely evolved, and every now and then, there are no technology out there to withstand these things. I always look. If this, even in the when there's snow,
they play.
They play.
Yeah.
Water. We can't build stadia, give it a proper modern drainage system that will allow the water to just vanish as at when it falls down, dissipate into whatever gutters or drainage system to allow the game to go. And for that matter, you see, if we are saying
Coach, that's what I'm talking now. I'm laughing small. You know why?
Why?
You see, when it comes to Africa, it's not just the stadium. When it rains, going accessing the stadium, the road.
It's a problem. So,
exactly, the road cries a problem.
Okay, so let's say that they understand our situation.
Yes.
So under the circumstance, they've taken the best decision.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's all support that.
Yeah, Daniel.
Man, it's just interesting how they didn't think about this when they were making the decision to push the AFCONs to June and July.
So remember, they pushed it, and then they brought it back, and then they pushed it back again.
Because look, this is the second time this thing is happening. It happened in Cameroon, it's happening in Cote d'Ivoire. So it means that for most of the competitions that happened in this side of Africa, it's going to affect it because of the sort of weather that we experience in June and July. And it's just, it's funny, but yes, it is what it is. Yeah.
All right. Let me show you highlights of a competition that's actually ongoing. Morocco took on, I think, who did they play in their opening game? It was Burkina Faso. They took on Burkina Faso in the opening game of the Women's AFCON. They won that game by 1-0. And then later on Senegal, they took on Uganda, and they also beat them by 2-0. So take a look at the two matches. All right, so there it is. So good victories for them. Cameroon played at a draw, I believe, in their opening game. So not everybody doing exactly too well there. But the Black Queens are not there, so you can understand why there is a bit of a low interest from a Ghanaian perspective. They were kicked out by Nigeria. Nigeria in the competition, I think they are in action tomorrow, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But let's move it on now. So that's the action. That competition is ongoing in Morocco. We'll run there for the next 3 weeks. But if we're coming home here, 2 Ghanaian players have been in the transfer market. It's important for me to point out that David Akam has also joined Helsinki, I believe, AJK Helsinki, Finnish Giants there. But the ones that have really caught the attention of people, first one is Kofi Kyereh to Freiburg. So he played in the Bundesliga 2 last season for St. Pauli. Had a really good campaign there. They didn't qualify to the Bundesliga, unfortunately. But it's him in the Bundesliga has come calling, and he's joined them. Daniel, let me begin with you. This is great for him, Kofi Kyereh, because we finally, and I'm just going to say this, finally, we can stop hearing from Coach Nimley about which tier of competition he plays in. He plays in the top tier of German Bundesliga. I said Daniel will start. Okay. He plays in the top tier of German football. Let that be known.
He's now being bought to go and play in the top tier. He hasn't even kicked the ball in the top tier yet. Let's put the record. No, we have to be factual on these things. We have to be very factual on these things. And that is what I stand for.
I know.
I am so happy for the young man.
Yes.
Look, believe you me.
Okay,
I've always said, yeah, of course. I've always said.
Feel free.
You see, I've always said that.
Yes.
When it comes to the Black Stars, we should only pay attention to those playing in the top tier.
Okay.
If I'm the coach, I call no player in the 4th third, second tier of any league. No player. Because at the end of the day, the competition at that level, the standard there will require that the player should be playing at a certain standard or at a certain level.
Okay.
And I'm happy for Kofi Kyereh. But again, we want to say big thank you to those guys managing them, because again, this is a perfect situation where the Black Stars has been used as a ground to get our players go to the top.
This has always been, this was the norm, I think, a few years ago. The national team was always a big propelling factor for a lot of players.
Yes.
We haven't seen that in a few years. But like you rightly said, clearly, nobody can tell you that Kofi Kyereh's appearance in the Black Stars as well hasn't contributed.
It's contributed.
It's a full international.
Immensely.
Yeah.
Because if a team in the
Bundesliga would have had a bit more money simply because it's a full international.
It is what it is. So for me, I'm happy. But I have to wait and throw the challenge to the young man that he should ensure that he's not gone there to warm the bench.
Yeah.
He needs to stake a claim. He needs to give the coaches at Freiburg genuine reasons why he has to be in the team. He's got the quality to be in that team. He's got a quality to be in that team. And I think secondly, he needs to quickly adapt, because that is the topmost league. It is difficult when you are stepping up than when you are coming down. So I believe that Kofi Kyereh, with all his technical ability, his passing ability, I think one thing that I'll be looking forward to in improving his game is the pace at which he plays. I have never been pleased.
I think he's too
I think he's too slow. Because
he was second top scorer in the team, created the second most goals, created the most chances in his team last season at St. Pauli. So clearly, the pace didn't seem to have to be a problem.
The pace at that level, at Bundesliga 2, I am looking at the pace of the World Cup, which is even more faster than the Bundesliga itself.
So you're just saying that he can adapt?
Yeah, he has to quickly, because there's no time to waste.
Right.
We don't have time. Is not on his side.
Yes.
In how many, 4 or 5 months?
Yeah.
We are in Qatar.
Agreed.
Yes.
Daniel, quick thoughts on Kofi Kyereh. He's moved to Freiburg. Obviously, this is a massive upgrade for him. And like Coach said, I think the most important thing is to get playing time.
Yeah, it is, because Freiburg is in the Europa League. They did very well last season. I think they finished 5th in the
league,
Bundesliga. Stake the claim. They could have made the Champions League. Unfortunately for them, they didn't. So the standard is there, and he has to live up to it. But for them to put this much faith in him, for them to pay, I think 8 million euros for Freiburg is money. If you are looking at their level, it's quite an amount of money. It's a lot of money. So it can show you that they really value him as a player. They know his strengths. They know that he can come in and help them. And he has to do his part. Once they've shown that faith in him, he has to go in and do his part. But when you talk about the style of play in the Bundesliga 2 and the Bundesliga, there's not much disparity. It's very similar. Yes, the teams in Bundesliga are much better, but the style and the culture is almost the same thing. If you look at the quality of teams in the Bundesliga too, we had, I think there was Hamburg, there was Werder Bremen, a couple of these notable teams were in there. So it has some level of credibility. And I always say that you have to put things into context when you are judging these things. You can look at the English second tier and it's better than the Danish league, top tier. So yes, one may be top, one may be second tier, but in terms of the standards, the name in second tier doesn't necessarily mean it's lower than the other. But look, it's up to him. He's been brilliant in the last 2 seasons, not just last season. He's done double figures in goals, double figures in assists, and he's played a number of different positions. And I think that is what will help him. We've seen him in the Black Stars playing a deep role. We've seen him at St. Pauli last season. He played as a number 10, a creator. He played as a second striker. So he can do a number of things. And that is what a team like Freiburg needs, options when you are going into Europe. You need players that you can count on to play a number of different roles and come in and help as and when you need them.
Agreed. 100%. So it's extremely crucial, like the boy said. You cannot just be already. What is clear is that he hasn't locked down a starting position in the Black Stars team. And if he's to go to the World Cup, getting playing time and scoring goals would be extremely crucial, because the Black Stars may have helped him to get to the Bundesliga, to join the Bundesliga team that's playing in the Europa League. But that move could also be ill-fated if he ends up not playing and then missing out on the World Cup. So it's a double-edged sword. Now it's important for him to stay fit and get playing time. That's what we're all praying for. That's what we all hope for. So all the best to Kofi Kyereh. His talent, obviously not in doubt. It's just time now for him to go out there and prove it at the Bundesliga level. One man might be joining him. His name is Alexander Djiku. Saturday, he was voted at the Ghana Football Awards. He was voted Ghanaian Footballer of the Season. He's had an incredible personal season at Strasbourg. He had an even more incredible personal story. He got married in the summer. That's why he didn't come for the AFCON qualifiers. So big congratulations to him. It's about to even get better for him because the reports are that his club, Strasbourg, have received an official bid from Hoffenheim. Daniel, what's the latest with that? And what are the chances of this deal happening?
They are quite high because according to reports in Germany, Hoffenheim, Strasbourg are hoping to let him go. It's just the valuation that has to be met. And it doesn't look like the value of the deal in terms of finances hasn't been disclosed. So we don't know how much Hoffenheim has bid for him. But the reports also suggest that it's very close to the valuation. So it's just about the two clubs sitting down and agreeing on a fee. But you talk about the Bundesliga level. Yes, it will be a good place for him to go. But we've heard earlier in the transfer window when Sevilla were interested in him, Rennes were interested in him, sources close to the player spoke about his wanting to stay in France. And that's what was pushing him closer to the Rennes move. But that didn't happen. We don't know if they are still pushing for the player or not. But he's still, yes, we have to maintain the fact that he would love to stay in France. But if the offer comes, and yes, it's come from Germany, which is a top league, it's the Bundesliga, it's Hoffenheim, a traditional club in Germany, I don't think he will say no to that move. If you talk about how good it will be for him as a player, I feel it will even help him in terms of fundamentals. You know, the centre-backs style in France is very different from that in Germany. In Germany, you need to be a bit more technically gifted. Your reading of the game has to be a bit better. Intelligence is a bit higher than that in France. In France, it's more of brute force and what you know as traditional centre-backs. And then, so he needs to adjust himself a bit. But yes, it's just early stages yet. It's a bid. We don't know whether it's been accepted or not. But yeah, it's for me, it's up to the player. If he feels like it's good for him and it's good for his development as it stands, he's 27, that's fine. He could go. But if not, I don't see why he shouldn't stay in France. Because look, for me, it's what works for you works for you. Staying in France will help you. He should stay.
Hoffenheim hasn't exactly, especially in recent time, hasn't exactly been good to Ghanaian players, has it? Kasim Nuhu was having a career to dream of in Switzerland with young boys, won the league, moves to Hoffenheim. The first season was so, then from then on, he just goes into a bit of...
In fact, look, that is my worry. Because we've had Isaac Vosa, Kasim Nuhu, Prince Tego. They've all played for that team. And they all started so very well. But it didn't end well. And our players have got some form of history with them. And for me, that is where my worry is. But do I really want Djiku to move? Yes, I want him to move. Simply because, you know me, I don't like his style. I think he's too rugged a centre-back. The manner in which he does the bim-bam thing under pressure doesn't go down well with me. So I think in the Bundesliga, he will be taught the proper rudiment of defending under pressure.
Are the best defenders in the Bundesliga, though?
No. When I say the best defenders are not in the Bundesliga. But when you look at the way they defend, if Djiku can go in there, pocketing or blending his rugged sort of defending with that sort of composure, you never see the German defender.
So you're basically saying that there's a bit more technical level required in the Bundesliga
to get him to survive in there. And I believe
if you can add that bit to his game,
he'll be one of the top most defenders for the Black Stars.
Interesting. So the guys have said it all. Like Daniel said, that deal, it's all but done. If Djiku wants it, it could happen. It was linked to a move to Sevilla, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. Any other story we left out? Any move involving any Ghanaian players?
Not that I know.
Not really. The only move I can report is that Kudus Mohammed and Kamal Din Suleimana have been meeting ambassadors from one ambassador to the other. But they are the future, so they're enjoying their time here in Ghana. That is absolutely beautiful. We will take a short break now. When we come back, I'll read some of your messages, and then we take you to Europe, because the drama that is unfolding at Man United and Chelsea are stuff of legends. Do stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Let me read a couple of messages on Twitter. You're tweeting at me using the hashtag Scorecard on Twitter. That's where you're leaving your messages. So do leave me a message there on that platform. Use the hashtag Scorecard. The messages that have come in. Gambero Roland says, "Hi FN, considering how Man United are struggling with their transfers, I think they should follow Ghana to the IMF because they really need a transfer bailout." No, they have the men. Please, relax. They have the men. The men. Okay. Come on, you Ghanaians. Is tweeting at Nana Garnet. He says, "Who gave Daniel-Kofi an Arsenal shirt?"
Why is it for you?
The question we are all asking. Pate gave it to him.
I have my guess. Say who gave it.
Shaq Ramos says, "It was a chaotic first lap, but thank God Guanyu survived. Moreover, congratulations to Carlos Sainz Jr. for winning his first Grand Prix. Or say Ferrari. The show is live here in Somania in the Eastern region." This one says, "This is Lazarus watching you guys live from Boga. You guys always make my day after a boring week. Tell coach to comment on the Ronaldo to Chelsea rumors." In fact, you guys can use Ronaldo to promote your favorite Europa League. AB tweeting at Okro Soup 1. What is this? Your Twitter name is Okro Soup 1. He says, "Fento and all Chelsea fans are pained by the Rafinha deal. Last, Dembele will renew. Barca will sign Koundé and will crown it all by knocking Chelsea out of the Champions League next season. Abidjan Blue FC think they can compete with us for a player. Ha ha ha." Concert Caricature also on Twitter says, "Hi FN, that thing called Formula 1 is dangerous, but we like him like that. Congrats to Carlos on his maiden win. Today's race was just, it was dramatic." We'll get to it in a bit. The Hollywood says, "So that means that they have also postponed the qualifiers or what? Then it's good for Ghana. So we prepare for the World Cup." Yes. So that decision will be made, I think, at a later date, I believe. We'll see whether they take out the September batch of qualifiers so teams can use that to prepare for the World Cup. But that would be the most sensible thing to do, to be honest. Bobby Filson says, "Good evening, guys. I just want you to get this message across to Mizaka Santi Boy and his entourage. He should try and be fluent in English at least, or else it won't be easy for him. But I play in Europe here. Perfect example is Yao Ano." Okay, you're saying that he should learn to speak in English. I disagree. I think he can speak in Chi. If they really want him, they will carry an interpreter along. If you're good, when Ronaldo went to England, he didn't speak Portuguese, but he was there. And then he didn't speak English, sorry. But he was there, and he learned the English. So, I mean, if you're good, you're good. That language there, you can learn at any time. Chio Wilson says, "Chelsea needs 3 defenders, 2 centre-backs, and 1 left-back. Then a defensive midfielder. The rest will take care of itself." Nee says, "Ronaldo joins clubs as a challenge, but when things start to usually get challenging, he's the first to run away." Interesting. Red says, "Ronaldo leaving United is a great news for me. He's good and wasn't our problem. He needs to go. The young players can accept the fate of the team and move on." All right. Says, "Hello, Fenture. I miss you guys. Star BRB. Welcome on board." All right. More messages here on the hashtag. This one says, "Ronaldo is going nowhere." All right. That's from Nation Builder. And General Ntetia he says, "Barcelona, we the broke can compete with Chelsea." Asemo. All right. Interesting thoughts. Guys, let's do this. On Saturday yesterday, reporters dropped news that Ronaldo had asked to leave Man United. His reason being that he does not want to play in the Europa League. So, he's gone.
That's not his reason.
He just wants to go. Ronaldo does not want to play in the Europa League. He has asked to leave Man United.
That's not his reason.
Because how can Messi be playing on Sunday and then on Tuesday and Wednesday? Then Ronaldo wait then you go and play Thursday. Then when when Messi is playing against Juventus and Barcelona and all those Bayern Munich and big teams, then Ronaldo is playing against Kurakichi on a Thursday night at 6 p.m. Nobody is watching. He said, "Come on, I want to leave." Daniel, your daddy wants to leave. He doesn't want to play Europa League football. Let's get to that. What are the chances of that happening? And if he does leave, where could he end up? Or could United do something else to stop him?
Why are you lying to the people? You see, when you host the show, then you can set the agenda you want. Then you are sitting there, Kurakuchi, then you are happy.
Why is Ronaldo leaving?
You know that's not his reason.
Why is Ronaldo leaving?
He says Man United is showing a lack of ambition. And it's true. It is very true.
But just Friday, you were very happy with United's transfer activity.
No, I was relieved.
Yes.
That finally we were seeing something.
Yeah.
But
So
it
now,
shouldn't take you,
so Ronaldo can see the same thing or what?
No, it shouldn't take you 5 weeks for you to start seeing things. No. And even if I was really, as United signed a player now, no. Not even one. And that's very problematic. Because look at it. The team that finished first has already addressed problems. The team that finished second has already addressed problems.
True.
Some of you may not even call it problems. They quench the fire before it even started.
Just say they improved.
They have improved. The team that finished fourth has signed 4 players, top-class players, beefing their team, showing ambition because they want to challenge. As for the team that finished third, they are not serious. But you see,
Let him speak. Let him speak.
No, they are not serious.
Speak.
They are not serious. You see, so when he looks at these things, he's talking about, and we all know why Ronaldo came back to United. United had finished second. He felt like he could push them to the next level. And last season didn't go according to plan. So what he wants to see is activity in the transfer window. Make attempts to try and bring in players. At this point in time, it really looks like Man United, they know what the problem is, but they are not sure who will come and solve the thing. And it doesn't show signs of a serious team. And it's very disturbing for a player like him. Look, Ronaldo doesn't compromise on his standards. He doesn't. And that is what a team like Man United should also be doing. And that's what he thought he was walking into. A team that has standards doesn't compromise. A player that also has standards doesn't compromise. If he's looking at the transfer window and he's seeing what his rivals are doing, and he turns and he looks in the dressing room and he's looking at Maguire, McTominay, and Elanga and co, how is he going to compete next season? He doesn't want that. He wants to be much better than they were last season. At least maybe top 3. And you know Ronaldo is very ambitious. No, you can't blame him for that.
But so what about those that, like the message, what about those that say that Ronaldo only wants the challenge when it means winning routinely? Because like you said, like you said, clearly this is not the sort of level he's used to.
Yeah.
Okay? And he's coming, and his first season, he showed them the level that he belongs to. The club isn't matching up to that. Don't you think, isn't Ronaldo in a position to be able to influence decisions?
No, you see, that's the point I'm trying to drive at.
Yeah.
He's not going because United are in a situation that they are going to the Europa League. He's going because the first season didn't work out, and he expects to see that the club is pushing and trying very hard to be on the same level as the teams that finished on top, or at least closer to the teams that finished on top of them. But he's not seeing anything, and we are not seeing anything. Arsenal, who finished fifth, have signed how many players? 2 players that are addressing problems. So it means they are going to be better. Tottenham have signed 4. It means that all things being equal, they are going to be better. He's not seeing anything. Man United have still not signed a player. Still. And they are, you see, if you look at the departures that have happened, you might say whatever you want to say about Paul Pogba. But when Paul Pogba leaves, it leaves a gaping hole. That is a world-class talent. So you need to bring you need to address that problem. And we are not seeing anything. So for him, it's very problematic. And you see, he's Cristiano Ronaldo. He doesn't just get up and say these things. His phone keeps ringing. There are teams that are chasing him left, right, center. Bayern Munich have called. Chelsea themselves are called. But even Todd Bowley wasn't confident in the call because he knows he's not up to the standard. Bayern Munich have called. And you see, when Bayern calls,
oh, God.
There's an ambition there.
Ronaldo might end up. If he leaves, he could. I want him to go back to Real Madrid.
No, he doesn't need to. He's going to Bayern Munich. We are going to Germany.
You see, I have kept quiet.
Yes, and I really don't want you to dwell on the United, the Ronaldo one, because there are 2 other things that we need to talk about.
What are they?
There's Lisandro Martinez. There is Malaysia. Then there is And this one is a very tricky one. De Jong. Because the last story I saw, no, these are in the form of updates, coach. You finished all those things. You have signed De Jong.
I said, De Jong has been signed. Malaysia is in United as we speak. He landed in Manchester today for his medicals. You should be telling this. He's landed in Manchester. Okay. You see, look. And then
didn't Barcelona just say that the Jong is not for sale?
Forget about who is talking. Laporte.
Laporte is the president.
You are broke. You don't have money. Somebody is giving you money to you.
Somebody said they can't even register. But they just got a new stadium deal.
Where is
Coach, are you aware? Do you know Spotify?
I'm going to
what? Uninstall.
Uninstall. What is? They should come and charge you and take.
You say uninstall what? What's that?
Spotify. I'm clearing it from there. Somebody's
the
giving
stadium
you free
is
money.
now named the Spotify Camp Nou.
So me,
more money for them. So
I had the Spotify app on my phone. I've deleted it. I've uninstalled it.
So they will get their money.
They will get the money. Somebody's giving you fresh money. Take. You think you are there, you are misbehaving. You are bluffing. What sort of life is that? I don't understand Laporta. You are waiting for Spotify to go and do bala, collect money for people to go and buy your place.
His name is Juan Laporta.
What is it? Juan Laporte. Or what? Laporte. Let's face fact.
So you are saying you should stop the cocotier and collect your money?
Stop the yampia that he is doing there. Just accept the money and go for it.
He wants to take your money and use to buy the...
You want to take money and go and buy Lewandowski. There is free money. You are waiting for Spotify to gather money and bring you some. You don't.
This one they are even supporting because they have done. They've gone to hijack Rafinha. 3 days later, they still have it.
They still can't pay the money. So look. As for the Martinez boy,
okay.
Malaysia, like I said.
And
that Ronaldo statement, watch United go in the transfer window. That's what I will say. Okay. That statement, in my view, is a clear statement to the Glazers that if you want to keep Ronaldo, look, this week, next week, De Jong, Malaysia, and then Martinez, Ericsson. With Hazel. Granting.
All right.
Chicken is all of them signed. And then the icing on the cake will be Wan-Bissaka. Tahir Chong. Wan-Bissaka, Tahir Chong, Phil Jones, Ribéry, all of them Djiku.
Mata
sold.
Go on.
I mean, those who
are still there with contracts.
Ten Hag has said they are to sell 9 players immediately without any delay.
You were there when he said it.
Well, you are not on top of United issues. This man, you are not on top of United issues.
He's not serious.
Look. The Bowley man who has
Todd Bowley. Let's go
to Todd Bowley.
Todd Bowley. Rafinha. Rafinha was supposed to be headed to Chelsea after Chelsea agreed a deal with Leeds United. There he is. This is the player Chelsea wanted. Chelsea went to Leeds United, agreed a deal with him. With the club. And then Barcelona somehow entered the fray, make an offer, and all of a sudden the player tells his agent, don't proceed with negotiations with Chelsea on my personal terms. Because I'd already agreed personal terms with Barcelona last summer. If they can pay the money to Leeds United, then I'm interested in going to Barcelona and Barcelona only. That's my dream club. That was 2 days ago. All right? Barcelona reportedly increased their offer from 54 million to 60 million. Leeds United have not communicated to Chelsea or Barcelona whether they had accepted the deal. In fact, when they had the Chelsea deal, they had been waiting. Gave Barcelona a deadline. Barca came with an offer. And Leeds United have now yet to communicate to either Chelsea or Barcelona whose deal they have accepted and whether Barcelona's offer is even acceptable. Reports are that it is still slightly below what they value of the player, even though Chelsea have matched their valuation of the player. So right now,
if you have not signed footballers before, you don't walk into the team because you bought the team and sack Granatskaya and then check.
To be fair, he didn't sack them, they left.
If he wanted them to stay, they would have stayed. He sacked them. So therefore, you don't know how to hijack moves.
You don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to do that. Imagine if this was Granovskaya and Abramovich. Rafinha,
easy.
He wouldn't have uttered a word.
Easily.
He would just be holding the blue jersey like that.
That is all. Finish.
So this Bowley man, you bought the team. We all know, you bought the team. Going forward, you should hand over the team to football people.
I don't know why he's taking over transfer negotiations. Honestly, like, it's I don't know how much he knows about football.
That's what I'm saying. Today,
we know he's a businessman, all right, but I don't know how much he knows about.
Zinchenko. Today they want Raheem Sterling. The next moment it is Rafinha. He's all over the place. Zinchenko.
Zinchenko. Coach. And now
Zinchenko, where is he taking Zinchenko?
No, I think Alonso might leave. I think that's why they need a backup left back.
So Chelsea themselves, they are not showing clear intent. That one you won't say there's a problem at the bridge. But Ronaldo speaks, there's a problem at the bridge.
That's not how I speak.
You want to everybody say that Ronaldo.
What did I say?
You say there is a problem. What is that?
I said the drama that
there's a drama at. There's no drama. There's no drama. Your coach, your man who is not a football person, he's negotiating. Look at the brother he's causing. There is a drama at Old Trafford. Ronaldo's speech is to spark the Glazers into action.
Okay. Here is the real kicker for Chelsea. According to reports, right now, in fact, Barcelona have entered into negotiations with Osman Dembele to extend his contract until 2024. Osman Dembele is now a free agent. He became a free agent after June 30. His contract with Barcelona expired. Chelsea had been interested in him for a long time. Now he's a free agent. Chelsea can literally sign him for free, but reports are that Barcelona, on top of hijacking Rafinha's deal, want to extend Dembele's contract on top. So in the end, it looks like Chelsea might end up losing out on both players. But nothing has been agreed yet, not even between Barcelona and Leeds United for Rafinha. So even that is still open and Chelsea still have a chance. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll zoom into Tottenham Hotspurs and their transfer activity. Antonio Conte, wow. And then we'll conclude on some F1 and some tennis issues as well. This is Scorecard live on Citi TV. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. We are on the last leg of the show. A couple more messages again on Twitter. The people sending the messages on WhatsApp, just give us a second. We're trying to retrieve all of those messages. It's proving a bit tricky, but we're going to make it happen and get your messages across. Okay, but let me read some messages that have come through on the hashtag on Twitter. Ian Derrick said, Dembele has not accepted Barcelona's proposal yet. I think we know that. So as of now, tomorrow, which is the date Barca players are supposed to report for pre-season medical, Dembele won't be present until his deal is completed. Yeah, so the story we are putting out there is that Barca have offered a new deal. So that could end up affecting Chelsea, bottom line. But like you rightly said, as of now, nothing agreed. So both players still on the cards for Chelsea. Therapy says, Coach Nimley, Zinchenko. Okay, interesting. Ala Kwekwe, he says, Coach Nimley is killing me. Herald says, please let Daniel know that Ronaldo is not just leaving United because of lack of transfer activity. He's also leaving because he doesn't want to play Europa League football. I told him, but Daniel he doesn't want to accept. You see, they don't want to accept. But have you seen Ronaldo play Europa League football before? He will not play. So if they like they said, they should sign the players. Wow, 50. He will not play.
Somebody can bring us 50 million pounds.
You see, if you sign 50 players, you play Europa next season. He doesn't want to play there, so he won't play.
You won't talk about Bowley. You are talking about Ronaldo. Bowley is there. He's a confused man. You are there to Ronaldo. Bowley is there.
Good. 50 new players.
Is it true that Bowley, all the money is what he used to buy the team? There's no money, in fact. You want to buy on credit.
You say, book all the fun you want. I'm telling you, if he buy 50 players, They won't put you in the Champions League because of that.
Sign one.
So that won't change Ronaldo's position.
So now you're talking for Ronaldo.
If you like, sign 11. What's 11?
The fact is, Ronaldo is not going to walk away for free.
United
will put a price on the player.
Let me read more messages. Emmanuel Gabriel says, did I hear Coach calling Wan-Bissaka? What changed with the acronyms like two Bissakas and three Bissakas?
He used to be called 4 Bissakas.
And then what happened?
Now it's 0 Bissakas. He can't grab the ball and pass.
End of gracious. Even if Man United were really busy doing some signings, I didn't expect him to say, how can Ronaldo be playing the Europa League? That is the thing. That is the issue.
The great Ronaldo. You know who the great Ronaldo is?
Yes.
The phenomenon. He even played in the Europa League.
Okay. Al Martin, the Ghanaian gunner, says, I have a very good feeling about Arsenal this season. They aren't just signing anyone in the name of adding new players. In January, they didn't sign a centre forward because they didn't get Vlahovic, who was also their main target then. I think what they're doing now will come good soon. All right. This one says, I would like to know if Bruno is better than KDB at any department. That's an interesting question. But keep those messages coming. Use the hashtag scorecard. Let's go to Tottenham Hotspur briefly. They've signed 4 players, but the biggest one yet is Richarlison. The striker is coming. Now, imagine it this way, right? Richarlison, Son Heung-min, Harry Kane, bearing down your neck at Old Trafford. Oh, goodness me. Daniel, Antonio Conte, in Pigeon, he really hit.
Oh, he hit.
Huh.
He hit. And look, this is what big teams do. He's coming, he's changed the mentality of the team. He's, if you talk about the front 3 last season, I think 3 of them out of the 4, top 4 in goals and assists in the second half of the season, 3 were from Tottenham Hotspur, Kulusevski, Son and Kane. So they finished as the hottest front 3 in the Premier League. And look, they are class. Now he's added another one in Richarlison. You see, Richarlison is not coming to come and sit on the bench. He's coming to put competition in the team. You look at what they've done in midfield. They've brought in Yves Bissouma. Before it was Bentancur and Højbjerg, and now Bissouma is coming in. We know only 2 will play. It means there's competition. He's putting competition all around the pitch. You look at Perisic, who is also coming to put competition down the wing backs. In fact, Perisic can also play as one of the front 3. So Antonio Conte is making sure that this team becomes a competitive machine next season. He's trying to close the gap between himself and Liverpool and Man City as much as possible, because you know him, he's obsessed with league titles. He's not coming next season to come and finish 4th or 3rd. He wants to win the league, and he knows that now if you want to win the league, you need a certain level of quality in your team, both on the
Interesting. I have an interesting message that I want to read to Coach Nimble. It's from Coach Dunga inside Wa, and Coach Dunga says, while Laporta said De Jong is staying, which means Man United have already signed him. You can never trust Laporta's words after Messi's heartbreak.
It's already done. The reason why the boy has not been on video, he's on holidays.
He just proposed to his girlfriend.
Yeah. He's happily, all those things and that.
Oh, which things?
Read the message, what is that? This why he's not serious.
Oh, goodness me. Oh, God. The young proposed his girlfriend last week. So, he's on holiday. So he's getting married pretty soon. So congrats to him. Anyway, let's switch it up. So you had Daniel there on Tottenham's transfer activity. Evan Perisic has come. They brought in Yves Bissouma. So imagine Yves Bissouma in the middle of the park with Højbjerg, those 2 coming at you in the middle of the park against McTominay and Fred. Oh boy, what a sweet game. What a sweet matchup that will be. What a sweet, marvelous matchup that would be. But let's move it on. Arsenal have also signed Gabriel Jesus. That's old news now. Everyone knows that. So striker they've added to their team. Incredible signing for them. Some people will make you think otherwise, but Tottenham, Arsenal fans will be very glad with that signing. Before we wrap it up, I got a bit of tennis. Wimbledon is underway, Daniel. Quick thoughts. Kyrgios won. Swiatek won as well. Number one. But
lost. She lost yesterday.
Oh, curious.
Yes. No, Swiatek lost.
So Swiatek, world number one lost.
Coco Gauff also got kicked out yesterday. So yesterday, in the women's draw, there was a number of upsets in there. And but I think the game of the day yesterday was Kyrgios and
what happened in there?
Look, it was Citi Pass. It was a fantastic game. 4 sets, but it was full of action. It had drama. It had everything. You know their styles. Both of them like to assert their authority on the game. Both powerful servers, hit very strong ground strokes. But look, it was very interesting. And this is look at this point like this. Kyrgios was just on his game yesterday. We just hope that he's able to maintain this throughout the tournament because he has the tendency of blowing hot and cold. He's very good in this match, and in the next match he gets bored and then he goes out in 3 sets. But yeah, this was definitely the game of the weekend. But I think just ended. Djokovic is also through, or he's just about to wrap it up and move. That was a round of 16. So if he wins this, he's moving on to the quarterfinals.
Right, cool. Let me take you. Okay, let's stay in England, but this time racing. Carlos Sainz Jr., his father was also a race car driver, so he was also called Carlos Sainz. So that's Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari, the red car you see there. That's he and Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton finished in 3rd position, but after the first lap, there was a huge crash involving Zhu Guanyu, but thankfully he's okay. But a bit of poor strategy, really, from Ferrari's side, cost his teammate Charles Leclerc the lead and the win. But massive congrats to Carlos Sainz. His first F1 victory came in England at Silverstone. So massive congratulations to him. The world champion Max Verstappen finished down in 7th, but he lost only about 6 points to Charles Leclerc. So it wasn't so much of a big deal. And there's still a massive gap between him and his teammate Sergio Perez, who finished 2nd. Lewis Hamilton finishing 3rd and completing the podium places. So Lewis now with 2 podium finishes this season. It's all coming together after all, isn't it? All right, that's all we have for you tonight. The show is repeating on Monday at 1 p.m. My name is Tahir Fentio. Thank you so much for your time. Coach Christopher Nimley, it's been an absolute pleasure. Daniel Cranting, thanks as usual. Until next time though, you take care of yourself and bye-bye.